Welcome to the Employment Wednesday podcast with Yvonne Shabangu. Have you heard of the scripture Hosea 4 verse 6? My people perish because of the lack of knowledge. The same applies to your career. When you don't know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you are likely to make wrong career choices. But worry not. Employment Wednesdays is here for you to offer you all the answers relating to your career and offer you strategies to develop your career. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. You are welcome to another episode of Employment Wednesdays. And today I'm seated with a fave of yours from the socials. But more than her being a faves, we hear a lot about nurses, guys. Apparently, nurses buy taxi drivers sometimes.
Those nurses have retired, by the way.
Okay, it's a new generation.
This is a new generation. We don't do that.
Okay, you guys are woke. You
We are
know your
woke.
worth. You do the things the right way.
Instead of me buying me a taxi, buy me a car.
Okay.
Buy me a Porsche.
Okay, I hear you. That's valid. Okay, we're in a new generation of nurses.
Yes.
I'm seated with Makomane. I hope I pronounced it properly. Ne? I'm seated with Ma. I think.
Yes, it's Ma
Okay.
Komani. Yes.
I'm seated with Sister Makomane Kutlong.
Are you Zulu, Yvonne?
I'm so sorry. Like my Betty and Sutu friends no longer stay with me. So like
But yo, Kishokore were disappointed.
they will be very
So
disappointed.
it's Makomani Khutlang. Khutlang is Sotho.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Meaning
So it's like
calm, ne?
Buyani, yes, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
I think I just didn't write it right. Okay, khutlang.
yes.
Okay, who is a health professional? She holds a bachelor's of degree in nursing science from the University of Pretoria. I'm so happy to have you. We've never had anyone from the University of Pretoria.
it?
So now today is going to be a bit colorful, a bit different.
Yes.
It's a first of its own. She holds a bachelor's degree in science from the University of Pretoria, and then she also has additional qualifications in nursing education and nursing management from the University of Pretoria. And she is founder and CEO of Nature's Nest Clinic. So she has all the wisdom that we need. So if you've been wanting to be a nurse, go get your water or your tea or your coffee and be seated because it's about to get lit. So before we go into that, we're going to do shout outs. So I know some of you have been commenting. So guys, if you want me to shout you out, make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you're sharing the videos, make sure that you're telling me your opinion. If there's somebody you want to see on the platform, tell me in the comment section. If there's somebody who interested your mind, tell me in the comment section. Okay. So this shout out goes to Tari Manhisa, who says, as a legal professional who is currently thriving in my profession, I'm so happy to see more content like this. We definitely need more people sharing about their journeys in this profession. I literally try to share as much information as possible about the profession, and I love seeing this kind of content. Special shout out, Tari. And then we have another one from Tino Tenda Chikuku. She says, thank you, or he says, thank you for this insightful discussion. I'm Zimbabwean first-year student in actuarial. So glad I can relate to what she is saying on learning in a new environment, and this has encouraged me to focus more and work harder. Thank you for this insightful discussion, Tino Tenda. Special shout out to you, Tino Tenda. So if you want to be shout out at, make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you're sharing, right? So today we are going to hear more on the journey of becoming a nurse or even starting up your own practice. Thank you so much for honoring my invite.
Thank you for having me.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you so much. You look stunning.
Thank you.
And we are matching.
And this was not planned, guys. Nakitwa Pitori for my own things, and she also came from her own place, so it's match. I guess it was divine orchestration, right?
Exactly.
So we are going to go into the icebreaker questions, right?
Okay.
What is your weirdest food combination?
Weirdest food combination. Oh my God. It has to have acha. Think acha and potato salad.
You mix it.
I can have them together inside my plate.
Okay.
And I always have everything with beetroot.
Oh, okay.
So-
Beetroot, I bet.
Hi, Betne.
I bet.
Acha, potato salad, and beetroot.
I'm just trying to understand the taste of mixing acha and potato salad.
And I enjoy it.
Really?
I enjoy it so much. I have weird taste buds, but I also My other problem is that I don't want to explore so much with food.
Okay.
So that's
So
my
you keep it
comfort.
very
Very
simple,
simple, very
okay,
simple, yeah.
put together. And then if you were to win a lottery, what would you do with the money?
Sure. I want to say donate to charity,
Aw.
but I'm charity myself. So lately, I've been having this feeling of wanting to take my parents, my mom and my mother-in-law on a vacation.
Okay.
So I think that would be the first thing that I do. And then secondly, I'm very interested in in having investments in property. So definitely that would be on the list.
Okay.
And then traveling the world. I want my kids to have more of experiences more than just having like presents and all
Okay.
that. So traveling the world, I know that traveling opens you up because for a while in my life, I lived in a small place whereby I couldn't see anything beyond that. So moving away from that place actually opened me up, and I want that for my kids also.
Okay.
And yeah, helping those that are in need.
Oh, I love that. At least you will do sensible things. So I'll pray that God gives you the lottery because you're gonna save people.
I'm gonna save people. Yeah.
And then one must go. Your followers or your phone?
I think I need my phone more. Yes. So I think my followers can go because life is not just about social media.
Okay.
I still have to be in communication with my friends, my family. So yeah, I think followers can go. No hard feelings, guys.
And then one must go. Your wardrobe or food?
I love food. Nah, actually, I don't think I love food as much as I used to.
Drip is forever.
I think drip is forever. And I mean, if I don't eat, it means I get to keep my waist.
Wow. Okay, I love that reasoning. I love that reasoning so much. And then salt or sugar?
I think now that I have a cavity, I'm no longer enjoying my sugary things anymore. So salt.
Okay.
Like savory things are also nice, right?
Okay. All right. So now we're going to go into your career. How does it all start, right? So when you were in high school, what did you want to be? And what was the inspiration?
So when I was in high school, I wanted to be a meteorologist.
What is a meteorologist?
Actually, I wanted to go into, you see, your climatologists, the people that are telling you about the weather, and all
yes.
that. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And the inspiration behind that was actually coming from the fact that I was an A student, geography.
Yes.
So because I understood, like geography was so easy for me to understand that I felt like I can do this for a lifetime, you know? So that was my motivation. That's what I wanted to do. And actually, go university, that's the first thing that I applied for.
Okay.
And actually, go UP, they took me for it.
And then what changed? Why didn't you go for it? Meteorology. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing,
Okay.
hey? So they took me, they accepted me for the course. And then when I had to do it in 2013, my mom could not afford to pay the registration fee.
Okay.
Because I did get a bursary from Vincent Shabalala in Alex, but then the bursary was not covering registration. They were covering tuition, and they were covering tuition and books. They were not covering accommodation and registration. So, and my stress was, where am I going to stay? You know. So I spoke to my mom saying, "No, it's okay. You have the whole of 2013 to save." For the registration fee, I'll just sit at home. And I also did not want to go to work because I know that I love money. And if I taste it, I won't want to leave. I won't want to go back to school.
So you sat at home the entire time?
The entire 2013, I was literally just waking up, taking my little brother to daycare, fetch him, and then that was my life for the whole 2013. And then 2013 April, I remember when applications opened for the next academic year, we went to campus to UP with my cousins. When we got there, I applied. So on the application form, I had to put a second option. So, and then as I was browsing, because I didn't know what to apply for, as I was browsing through the prospectus, I saw nursing. I was like, I thought nursing was only done at a college level. It wasn't
that's
there at
all.
a it wasn't there at a university level. So then I then put it there just as my second option. But also, the reason I chose nursing out of all the other options was that when I was in grade 11, my mom was in a terrible accident. She was admitted for 4 months in Tembisa Hospital.
Heck.
And in that time, those nurses were literally my mothers, I could say, because after school, I would have to leave school and go see her at the hospital. And when I get there, I'd find them having saved a plate for me. So, and it was, it was rough, but seeing people being that compassionate and helping you actually made me want to do this one day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the first thing that I wanted to do. But when I saw it on the prospectus, I was like, oh yes, I can do this. I can actually do this because I also want to help people at a certain extent. But my number one was meteorology.
Okay, I love that.
And okay.
Yeah. When a yepa meets a yepa.
Yeah.
So now in high school, right, in grade 11, you decide you wanted to do meteorology, and then you actually apply for it. How was your high school like? Did you enjoy?
I enjoyed high school.
What is your highlight of high school?
I think the biggest thing that came out of my high school was the friend that I have. I'm still very good friends with her. She's actually my best friend.
Aww.
So it was so nice being with that person. And then for me, the biggest thing is being with a person at your different stages of your life and experiencing them as a different person. And friendships are beautiful.
Yeah, like
friendships are
it's a
beautiful.
top tier concept.
Yes, and then also, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the awards because those are like they are nice. It's nice getting like accolades from high school, but the biggest things for me were moments shared between friends and other students at the school when we're having fun, things like that. And also, I think the nice thing mostly about the high school, my experience is that I did not experience a lot of bullying. Maybe that's why I enjoyed school.
You were liked.
Kids nearly pretended.
You never know, hey?
You never know.
No, I'm glad that you had a beautiful experience in high school because sometimes high school can be pretty hectic.
Yes.
So now you apply for meteorology and the first time before you go and apply again, was it just meteorology or nursing was still your second option?
No, it was. So first time it was just meteorology.
Okay.
Nursing was nothing.
So how did it make you feel and how did you get to the position where you had to sit down? Because I can imagine how young you were. You haven't getting to the point where you say, okay, I want to go to school, but reality is we can't afford this, so I'm going to stay home. How did you come to the decision and how did you have a knowing that your mom is going to be able to save that particular year and the following year you'd go to school? Because, we see how some gap years end up being
a gap
lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't know. I didn't even think that she was, I don't know, man. I just said save up. But I knew that my mom was a security guard.
Okay.
So I knew that from her salary, she's not going to have this money. But I did not have a doubt that I'm gonna stay home again the next year. I don't know. I want to say maybe I got reassurance from God, but I don't know. It's like it's not. Yeah, but I just knew that I'm not gonna stay home because she saw my marks. She needs to make a plan.
Yeah. So you had faith.
I had faith.
Okay.
Yes, I had faith.
That
I had faith.
Whatever happens.
And I think it was also so easy for me to accept because I knew the situation.
Okay.
I lived within the situation. So crying and rolling on the floor about it was not going to serve anybody because in any case, she was already stressed. And then now if I'm going to stress her up more, I'm not doing any justice to her, So I just had faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Your faith carried you.
Yes.
So now then you finally go to UP. How was that experience? How was university for you?
So university life.
And before we go into your university life, how did you end up deciding with nursing over meteorology?
So I got an email. So was it an email, or I went onto the portal, then I saw that I'm accepted for both.
Okay.
And yes, I had gotten an email that I have to reject one because I cannot go into to do both, right? I remember sitting go Alexander go the because I used to say go Alex go the internet cafe and just thinking, what do I choose? What do I choose? Where do I go? And for some reason, I just rejected meteorology. I rejected my first love. I was like, okay. And when I told my mom about it, she was like, why? I don't know, but I just rejected it. And when I went into university, I saw, actually, I wasn't going to, I don't know, I don't think I was going to survive meteorology because when we started nursing, in the first week, they already told us that we are going to get a bursary or we'll be getting a stipend from Gauteng Department of Health, whereby I'm like, oh, okay. My mom was not going to be able to afford to give me food on a monthly basis. She was not going to afford rent. She was not going to afford me having a child in the university. And remember, NSFAS only replies later on in the year. Do you get what I'm saying? So actually being good nursing was like a blessing. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I even tell people that nursing chose me. I didn't choose it. You know? Yeah. So, and my life in varsity, oh man. Oh, what a time.
Yeah, I want to hear all about it.
Oh my God. It was nice. It was fun. I think so the first year of my varsity life, I was pregnant, by the way.
Wow. Okay, so you stay at home for the year and you decide, I'm going to be pregnant.
I'm going to be pregnant the next year. Yes. So when I started first year, I was already pregnant. And I found out in March. Yes. And I was 3 months pregnant at the time.
How did you deliver the news to your mom?
I didn't.
What?
I decided that I'm not going to deliver the news. She will find out herself. Because if I tell her, so at first she thought I was gaining weight because I was getting a stipend. She was like, oh, you enjoy getting your own money, eh? Yeah. So for her, me being pregnant was literally out of her mind because I was that child I was the example. You know,
yes.
when
even right now when I'm looking at you, I'm thinking, how did you get pregnant? Your demeanor, your aura. Like, how did you get pregnant?
I did. Like even that thing next door, they would say, why is that honey pinky? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I would be that child and then I come back from school. I chill in the house, I cook. Weekends I don't go komgruvong. Like I grew up Alex, I've never been komi gruvong. Alex, do you get what I'm saying? So for her, me being pregnant was not like
it was never part of the plan.
But also, come to think of it, we've never had the sex talk.
Oh, yes.
And when I fell pregnant, I had never been on contraceptives. Like I found out because I was having a conversation with my friend, and we actually said we should start contraceptives. When we got to the clinics, it was like, oh well, congratulations.
I would faint. I would faint. Wow.
I think the only thing that kept me sane at that time is that the baby daddy was like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of the child.
And he actually pulled through.
For that. So, yeah. And my mom found out when I was 6 months. I think the other thing is that I was always at campus. And when I come back home, I make sure that my visit is very minimal.
Very short and sweet.
So, yeah, she found out when I was 6 months. And and the not so nice part about being pregnant at campus is the stairs.
Yes, everyone is looking at you.
First of all, I'm short.
Yes.
I'm tiny. Yes. And I'm pregnant. And I'm a first year. I mean, you can tell that I'm a first year. And so now people are just giving me looks like, already. Freedom.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then my stress came when they wanted to give me an extra year, because they're like, no, because you're going to need to be on maternity leave. And then I kept telling them that, no, I don't need maternity leave.
So you're ready to give birth and get back to it?
And that's exactly what I did. I had a C-section on a Wednesday. Monday, I was back in class.
Hectic.
Yes.
You are resilient. You like staring. What?
Monday, I was back at school because I knew, and I begged them at the department that please, I can do this. I can assure you that I can do this. And then I even went with my file from the gynae to the prof to say, Prof, I can do this. They looked at my marks and all that. They said, if you can do it, then let's just give you a chance. Yeah, and I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
I didn't want the course extension.
Because also now I'm thinking about the stigmas you possibly were carrying, right? Firstly, you had to wait it out, right? To wait to go into university. You're an A student. Now you're pregnant. And obviously, if you're Black and maybe you're Christian, you're not married at the time. And all of this, how did you handle that season of your life? And how did you give yourself grace? Because I can imagine how you could have possibly been disappointed, or you could have even quit. What made you decide to say, you know what, there's a child, but it doesn't stop the plan. Aluta, a continua.
Yes. I think for me, it was mostly about I've lived in poverty and I hated it. So my main motivation was that I cannot quit school because what then? My key, literally my key to making it in life is via education, because I'm not sporty. I cannot play. I cannot get a scholarship for sports or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not, I was like, I cannot present on TV. I cannot act. So my only key to
I'm sure
making
at that time content creation was not even a thing
it was
like
not
that.
even a thing.
Yeah.
So my only key into making it for me at the time, it seemed like education is the only way, and I had to make it. Yeah. So that's the only thing that pushed me. And then in terms of the stigma and people talking, I'm very good at ignoring people.
Really? You need to teach me that, because I catch feelings very fast. You say something I don't like, I'm touched.
No, I don't. And I literally, I know that I do good, you'll talk. I don't do good, you'll talk. So why must I stop living my life because of your opinion? Because in any case, anything that I do, you'll have an opinion, you know? So basically, go to campus, do what I have to do, attend the classes that I have to do, go back home, go back to my room and just rest. Yeah. And I think also because I had nice friends that were also like that. If you look at me, they're like, umlibeleching.
You had protectors.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
friendship.
also because of friendship, I pulled through. Yeah.
I love that. So support actually carried you in
Yes.
that season. And what was your mom's reaction like when she saw that you're pregnant?
Her question was, what about school? I said, no, I'm going to continue. Who's the father? Then I told her.
So at the time she didn't even know you're dating, nothing like that.
No.
She just saw her child, Virgin Mary.
Yes.
And then now
So
you're
who's
delivering.
the father? And then I tell her, and then she's like, so is he going to take responsibility for the pregnancy? And I tell her that, that's what he says. I mean, he can change his mind.
Yeah.
That's what he says. And then she said, oh, okay, no, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing we can do. A child is a gift from God. And then that was it.
And then she supported you
Yeah,
throughout.
she supported me.
Aww,
And how she found out is that I was bathing and my little brother came in. And then my little brother said, Mommy,
I would have been upset at my little brother. Like, what?
And then, when you want to react harshly, but you see that it doesn't serve any purpose. So I could see that she's defeated and she's mad, but what can she do? There's nothing she can do. The child is there. The child is coming. I mean, in 3 months' time.
Yeah. Hectic. No, you know what? Which means I can trust you with my business. You kept it for 6 months. No, you are the girl, but I'm actually so proud of you that you kept the course and you stuck to the plan. And it's just sad or unfortunate that you are probably 1 out of 99, because any moment when a pregnancy happens, sometimes because of circumstances, but sometimes people choose to say, you know what, this is no longer worth it. I'm not going to go to school. I'm not going to, I'd rather at this point in time just focus on raising the child. But you were like, you know what, we're going to raise you, but I'm going to raise you right. I'm going to finish school and I'm going to finish my dreams as well, so that even when I'm raising you, I'm raising you from a healthy place. So I love that. And then now you get done with university. So you enjoyed university. You never had
After
any
having a
issues.
child, oh my God, I had a time of my life. Remember, first year, I couldn't do any clubbing because of the pregnancy. I couldn't do any parties and all that. I started enjoying being a varsity student in second year because of I could now start doing all those things and activities. So it was nice.
You had a time.
I had a time. So yeah.
So now you have studied, you passed your nursing. How was it finding a job? Was it easy? Were you placed? What's that process like?
So as a nurse, after completing your course, so in fourth year, we are given, there's a system, I've just forgot the name. It's like ICP or something like that.
Yeah.
You have to, because you have to do community service. Part of the thingy, the requirement of the contract was that you have to do community service for 4 years after you've completed. Because it's like you pay back what the department was giving you during the course. So they give you have to pay it in Gauteng because it was the Gauteng Department of Health. So I had to choose hospitals or clinics in Gauteng to go do. So basically I could say we were placed because then I was placed at Helen Joseph. But I didn't stay.
So during this, what you'd call
community
ComServe, right?
Yes.
Community service, are you paid like a normal salary? Oh, okay.
It's not normal salary. It's a community service salary. So it's like few thousands less than what a professional nurse should get. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still money.
And how was your transition from leaving university into actual nursing? Do you think you were fully equipped? Were you ready?
Okay, I was ready. I was fully equipped. So the nice thing about doing nursing is that you start going to the hospital from first year.
Oh, okay.
So in first year, when you start going to the hospital, you obviously do the basic things, but you get used to the hospital environment. You get to see the actual nurses that are doing the actual job because you're just doing like vitals, writing like minimal things, you know, and there's certain things that you don't touch because, I mean, you don't know what you're doing. Do you get what I'm saying? But being in the hospital environment from first year up to fourth year, when I went into my ComServe, it was like continuation. It's just, and the thing is, we would rotate in the hospital. So you would go to a different ward, a different department like that. So for me, I treated going into ComServe as it's like I'm going into a different unit, right? So the difference with ComServe is that now that responsibility that you used to see Ilia's sister, it's now yours.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what now you are in charge of the ward.
Sister.
Do you get what I'm saying? You are in charge and you don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like you were working and you got promoted. You just got there and become sort of like in charge of the ward in that particular shift, you know. So but orientation, you get to know new people because we are coming from different institutions. And then finally we started work. The wards that I did rotations in were actually, I found that the staff there carried me, you know. So I think it's how you treat people that get I guess that differentiates our experience, because if I get there with this attitude that, oh, I'm more senior than you, you know, because you're an enrolled nurse and I'm a registered nurse, so I'm more senior than you. But you know more because you've been working in this ward for 15 years. So it's how my attitude towards you is how, and when I come to you and say, Ish, waity, I was doing that wound, I don't understand something, she will gladly come to help. And because you don't have that attitude. But when you come with the attitude that I'm more senior than you, she was like, go you ruta.
So basically humility.
Yes, humility. You just have to be humble and be nice to people. I just say, being nice goes a long way.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. It does. So, but I didn't struggle getting a job. I didn't struggle with the transition year ComServe because all the units that I went to, the staff was nice, the unit managers were nice, and because of the content that I learned from varsity and going into that environment, and I think also the nice thing is when you when they teach you something in class and when you get to work and you actually ask the people that work there and you want to learn it, then it becomes easier because now if you don't practice something, you won't know how to do it until you actually because our job is literally like doing it. Do you get what I'm saying? Practical. So if you learn how to do a drip with a doll, now this is real life. And I think the other thing that nursing students should do is when you go into the hospital, don't be afraid. When a sister gives you an opportunity, or sometimes create an opportunity yourself to say, Sister Kopomponse, Sister, when you insert a catheter, can I come with you? Do you know? Because some nurses, there's some seniors will not tell you to come. I mean, if you're a student, if you want to learn, you will follow me.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
You need to be curious.
You need to be curious, and you also need to create opportunity for yourself. For me, as your senior, to know that you actually want to learn. You know, because now they've experienced different types of students. Those that when they tell them, say, hey, come, let's go insert that thing. And then they feel like, no, sister.
I don't want to do that. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're inquisitive and you're curious, when you go into your ComServe, it will be a smooth sailing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does the money in ComServe look like? What is a range?
What did we get in ComServe? I don't know. Was it like 18? Yeah, it's like 16 to 20,000. I don't know. I don't remember because I was just excited that it's more than 10K. Remember when we were students, the stipend was 6,000. I think it was 6,000, 6 point something, 6.5 or so. So when you get into ComServe, yeah, Shem, I can't be talking about people's salaries.
You have to tell us your experiences.
Yeah, but it was, I think it was less than 20, but not so far off from 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then now you're done with ComServe. Then what happens after that? Do they return you at that hospital?
So after ComServe, you have to do... so after ComServe, you have to get absorbed by that particular institution that you're working at, right?
Okay.
So as I said, that I was placed at Herling Joseph, but I didn't work there. I transitioned into Tembisa Hospital, transferred into Tembisa Hospital. And then while we were working, so we were the first group that government told us it doesn't have money to absorb us.
Okay.
Right? So then after the first year of ComServe, we were then told that we can start looking for jobs elsewhere. So that's where the opportunity came for me to work at an NGO, which was the Oram Institute, where we were working with mostly HIV and TB.
Okay.
So then, after work, I worked in Thames Hospital 1 year, 6 months, and then I transitioned into the NGO.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that whole 1 year, 6 months, in as much as the government didn't have money, initially you're supposed to serve 4 years, so they didn't penalize you for the rest of
because it
the
was
time.
Because it was their fault.
Oh,
They didn't have the money to keep me. I availed myself to say I can be kept.
Okay. I'm available, but unfortunately you can't keep me.
So it was them who was like, no, we cannot keep you guys. So we kept going into, because they wanted to keep us, but wanted to keep us on a ComServe salary. I'm like, no, you cannot put me in charge of a unit and pay me. Do you get what I'm saying? The money needs to make sense.
Yeah.
So it's not making sense. Let it make sense. So we were like, no, if we're not being paid, then let us go. We can go to places that can pay us what we are supposed to be getting, you know? So yeah, that is the thing.
And then how was your transition from the hospital into the NGO?
Okay, so because I initially, when we were applying for ComServe, I actually applied for clinics. I wanted to work at a clinic environment. I'm more of a primary healthcare nurse, right? So when we went into the NGO, it was a clinic setting. So for me, that was nice, right? But the different thing is that now the focus is on TB and HIV.
Yes, it's specific.
Whereby I did not have that much in-depth knowledge about HIV and TB, but because of the training that they gave us, I was well equipped when I went into the clinic, and we had mentoring sessions and all that, it was nice. And I don't know, wherever I'm placed, I'm welcomed warmly.
Okay,
I receive warm
you have that
welcome.
aura.
So I've never had my experience was nice because of that, also because of the staff, because of me being humble and being like opening up myself to talk to other people, you know. So for me, it was smooth. It was smooth actually, and it was even smoother because of the money.
All right, ma'am.
Made more
We
sense.
see you.
I mean, the money made sense.
Okay.
So because of that, then
You were happy.
I was happy.
So I'm curious about something, right? There is quite a stigma surrounding HIV. And I think there was a season where tuberculosis also had its own stigma. So you transitioned from a hospital into this NGO. I'm assuming, I could be wrong, that there were points where you had to sort of let a person know that they have this disease, right? How was that? How do you mentally prepare yourself to tell somebody that their life is going to change forever and it could go really south, or they could make choices that make it better?
So I think for me, it was not so difficult because of when you're bringing a problem with a solution.
Okay.
Because I know and believe so much in my solution that you're going to be okay. It was so easy for me to tell the person and to actually counsel them. Of course, it's not, they're going to, it's a shock for them. Most of them, it's a shock and all that. But I make sure that my counseling session I go so deep in, and I explain it in a layman's terms so that this person can definitely understand what I'm saying and actually tell them how the medication is going to work, how they're going to take it, and how often, and all those. And I make sure that I answer their questions, without treating them like a stats to say, okay, I want to see the next person. And the nice thing is that with the NGO, when you are placed in that particular clinic, you're placed solely for HIV and TB. So I actually had time to sit with the person and conduct the counseling service, and then the counseling session. And the counseling starts from the person who actually does the test, and they come to me to then go in depth with the counseling session. So for me, because I'm one person who believes in ARVs. Oh my god, no, because we've made so much progress in the HIV and TB program that. If you find out today that you're HIV positive, you shouldn't worry that much. I mean, your problem, you should just stress about taking a pill every day, but literally, people are taking contraceptive pills every day. Why can't you just take your ARVs? I mean, your aunt is hypertensive. Why? She's taking a high blood medication every day. Why is it a problem with taking HIV tablets every day? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, I love that, because I think we have stigmatized HIV, but it's also good to see that we've made progress over the years to say, you know what, at the end of the day, you are still human. If you can take headache pills every other day, you can also take pills that help you with your immune system, right?
And I think the other thing is, when you understand why you are taking the medication and how the medication is working in your body, hence I say that counseling session is actually very important, because you get to explain to the person that if you take it, this is what it's doing for you. And if you're not taking it, this is what happens. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give the virus a chance to thrive and now be in control. And for you, being in control of the virus is by taking the medication. And if a person definitely understand that, they're definitely going to take the medication, So, I mean, at this point, people that are on HIV medication, you cannot even tell.
Yeah.
You cannot tell them apart from a person who's not HIV positive. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's how much progress we've made.
Yeah.
We are no longer in the Nkosi Johnson era.
No, I hear you. That's valid. So what is the one important lesson you learned during that season where you're working with the NGO concerning TB and HIV?
Don't forgive a cheating partner.
Oh, don't forgive a cheating
Forgive
partner.
a cheating partner. No, because honestly, what is the reward?
Yeah.
What is the reward?
You get sick.
Yeah.
No,
And it's so sad because you are so loyal to this person and you are trusting them with your life, right? And they go and cheat and they don't condomize and all that. And the reward that you get for staying and being loyal is getting HIV. And it's not just HIV, there's so many other STIs that you get from that person. And
yeah, cheating should be considered as attempted murder. You are literally coming after my life. You are risking my life.
so if you find out, why do you stay? Don't stay because this person showed you that they don't respect you that much. And now they're going to continue doing it. And what are you? You're just a bean that he goes outside, he collects everything that he's collecting, and he brings it to you. And now you've got all these STIs. You get HIV, you get HPV, you can get cervical cancer, and then now we remove your womb. And now this person tells you that I cannot live with another man in the house because how useful are you if you're not going to bear him kids?
Yeah,
and now you've lost.
What a tough lesson. No, but that's a very good one. So then how do you decide to start your own practice?
So the deciding of starting my own practice actually started back in 2018 when I was doing my ComServe, right? And I started with the business registration. And then and then I needed information. I think this is why also I'm sharing my journey about starting the business, because it was so hard getting information of how to get into it as a nurse, and the people that had the information were actually gatekeeping it. So after registration, it was the time when the government was telling us that they're not absorbing us, and then I got this opportunity, and because of how good the money was, I forgot about my dream.
You just abandoned the business.
I was like, bye, Felicia. I left I packed it. Let's say I packed it and then went into working. So the NGO that I was working for, actually, their 5 years grant ended. So now it was a new NGO that was coming in. So with the new NGO that came in, I was not happy at all. I knew from, I'd say, the first week of orientation that I'm not going to stay here. And that revived my dream. So being in that situation revived my dream. I then started on getting the information. I searched all over the internet. I attended seminars, and I got all the information that I needed, and I hit the ground running.
I love that so much, because many times when a season comes to an end, we think, oh my God, this is the end of it all. But an end of season is actually a birth of another, or a reminder of goals not accomplished, because you were able to say, okay, by the way, director, founder, let me go back to your business and roll my sleeves. You know? I'm so glad that you did that. What is that one thing that you've learned from running your practice that you'd like any other person inspiring to have a clinical practice?
Don't work in silos. Collaboration is key.
Okay.
You cannot stick to your scope of practice. That is very important. Yeah. Always look at the bigger picture. When I'm faced with a condition that I know very well I cannot manage, I have to be honest, because in me attempting to deal with that condition, and it can be detrimental. And now it's bad publicity on me. Because I was chasing that 1,000 rand, now it's going to kill this whole thing that I built. So looking at the bigger picture is that I'm losing this one client today, but I'm going to get more tomorrow.
Yes, you're keeping the brand.
Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? So that, and working in collaboration, there's so many clients that I got from working with people and referring. You know, when I refer to you, because I have people that are physios that I'm referring to, and they are referring to me because sometimes my client is on your contact list. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. My next client could be your friend. Maybe your friend is pregnant and she needs a midwife. I'm the midwife.
Maybe it's me. I never know.
You
I'm
never
joking,
know.
guys.
So yeah, so collaboration. For me, it was mostly collaboration, looking at the bigger picture. And running a business tested my faith so much because it is not easy. But I'm here. I'm still standing.
Your faith carried you.
I'm still standing.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What are the requirements of a person who wants to study nursing, if you still remember?
Oh my God. So now they want the AP score to be, I think it's 27, if not 28.
Okay.
Your English has to be level 4. You need life science, which also has to be level 4. You need, what? So you need math as well. I think, I'm not sure if they take math lead, hey? But you need math. This is at a university level.
Yeah.
Yes, you need English, math, biology, and all the other subjects.
Okay.
Yeah, but your AP score has to be 27 and above.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. In conclusion, what is the season of your life? And one book you would recommend a person should read if you're a reader.
Oh my God. This season of my life is called being tested.
It's you saying tested and you laughing. Okay. That doesn't seem like a test.
God.
You're having a joyride.
I'm not having a joyride. You know, I was at a point of giving up on my dream of running a business, right? And actually, but God kept reminding me of who He is through the people around me. Even though my business was not doing well, people around me were doing well in their lives. Like my friends would get promotions, my friend would buy cars, my husband got a promotion. Do you get what I'm saying? So good things were happening to them, and for me, that kept being a reminder that in as much as your things are not going well, God is still in the area.
Yes, He's
God
in the
is showing
neighborhood.
up in your friends' lives. And especially because I know that these are things that they've been praying for. Do you get what I'm saying? And when you see that coming into fruition, it's like, oh, my time is coming.
Yeah.
I'm just maybe not being tested but in the waiting season.
Oh, yes.
But also
Pruning season.
pruning.
Yeah,
Yes,
pruning
let's
and-
say
and
pruning.
waiting.
Because now, after I think there was a point where I sat down and realized that let me stop whining about what's going on and actually put myself out there again. And actually putting myself out there brought me back to life, because now I'm actually even getting busier. I started doing births. I wasn't doing births. And this was actually my passion when I started nursing. My midwifery was like the one thing that I wanted to do. And now being able to give birth at my own practice literally makes it,
Yeah, at least you've gotten yourself a client in the next 4 years.
Thank
I'll
you.
come and give birth.
Oh, nah. We can start now with contraceptives.
La, la, la. Thank you so much for honoring my invite. This was beautiful. It's very short-lived, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. And I think one thing that I'm getting from your story and your journey is that it is important to stay the course. Don't let the plan change because of circumstance.
Yes.
If the plan was finish under whatever circumstance it
Lord.
is. You can take a pause, breathe, and take a break or whatever, but finish what you start, especially if it's a God call. And with support, you can do so much. Be nice, be kind. If you guys have any questions about nursing or anything like that, I think you can leave them in the comment section. Then I can always forward them to her, and then she'll be happy to answer. And do not forget to be love and light. Happy Employment Wednesdays. Subscribe, share, like, and don't forget, thanks, guys. Leading memberships, join in so that we can grow and become bigger and maybe post twice a week. You never know.
Or 3 times.
You never know. Or daily.
You know?
Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Happy Employment Wednesdays.